Hello to all my scrappy friends out there. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful, fantastic day. I am back with the second layout in my Christmas story series, and this paper collection is absolutely beautiful. And I had gone ahead and sort of done a bit of pre-planning again for this one using Design Space, and knowing that I wanted to bring in some digital elements once again. So if you'd seen my previous layout, I had done that, and I'm kind of repeating that process here. Hopefully you guys will stick around to the end, because what you see here now is nothing like what it ends up. We end up with a nice brick chimney and some beautiful floral decorations on there. So I knew kind of roughly what papers I might want to use, what sizes I might want to cut them, and what elements I wanted to bring into the page. On this corner over here, you can see, sorry, I'm pointing to it, you guys can't see it, that is hilarious. On this corner here, guys, on the left hand side, you see that sort of grayer block. That is a sticker that I'm planning to bring in that says all the stockings were hung by the chimney with care. I do plan on using two of the stocking stickers that are in the sticker sheet, and then cutting 3 more, as well as cutting the cup that is there and the tag. So that's pretty much where I'm at. So I'm going to go cut those pieces, come back, and that's where we're going to continue on. Now that all my pieces are cut, I've got them kind of laid out where I want them, and I'm going to bring in this new stamp set, which is the Background Elements stamp set, and I'm going to stamp these stockings. So there's a little kind of stitched one, and I'm using that to stamp onto the stocking to make it a little bit more looking like it's a knitted stocking. So I'm going to do that to all of the pieces that go on those stockings, and then I'm going to blend them as well. So here, these are the little bits. So on the actual foot bit, I did them running down. On those top bits that sit on the top of the stocking, I did going horizontally rather than doing them vertically. After I'd done that stamping, I then came in with some black ink and I blended around them. So that little bird I had already put together before I started this clip. I did have to cut out big chunks of bits and pieces, because putting things together does take a little bit of time, and I'm sure you don't want to see that. So here I'm blending around the stockings, and I'm going in quite heavy to try to give that a lot of form. So if you are die cutting some things on the Cricut, blending around them really helps to give them a little bit of dimension and not make them look flat. The other thing that I did to help this not look flat is that I used the foam tape to put the top part of the stocking on. So rather than having it all on one level, that gives it one piece that's a little bit higher than the others. And I repeated that with all of the 3 stockings that I cut for this layout. These are the tiny little pom-pom pieces that are also cut, and that was so fiddly to get on. They just didn't want to go in place. I'm also popping this cup together, and right at the end of the layout, guys, I want you to tell me what is wrong on this cup. So leave a comment below and let me know what is wrong. I did not notice until I started editing this video, and then I looked over and I went, I forgot something on it. So if you can tell me what is not on there, then let me know in the comments. I have actually, after taking photos and everything, gone and added it. So and just popping that little tag together there as well. I've got most of those pieces together, so I'm having a little bit of a look, and I'm going to do some ink blending on this. So I'm bringing in the new masking tape that we have in our collection, and I'm masking off where I want one area darker and where I want the other areas a little bit lighter. So I'm running that tape along, and then I'm using my T-ruler to guide where I'm tearing that and what place I want it to end at. So I'll repeat that over there. I'll add a piece along the length, and then using the edge of the T-ruler, I will rip that tape to the length that I want and then place it going vertically down. Now I'm bringing in, this is an old stencil. It's not a close to my heart one. It's one I have in my stash, but it's one that you could get from lots and lots of different places, the bricks, or you could also make it on the Cricut. So if you cut a little piece of acetate or plastic with lots of little rectangles with rounded corners, you could easily pop that together and make your own stencil. I think it's the creative design team have a great video on making your own stencils, and if I can find that, I will pop it in the description below. Now that I've done that outside stenciling, I'm going to move the tape so it's on the outside edge of that stenciling, and I'm going to use the ink that's left on the stencil, give it a little bit of a spray, turn it upside down, and I'm going to put that in the background. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, it's just getting a few little brick marks. So my intention is this is in the fireplace, so it's a lot deeper and it's a lot darker than the brick area around the fireplace, and you're not going to be able, it's not going to look perfect. It's seen some soot and some dirt over the years, so it's definitely not perfect. So I'm going in blending, and I later realized that I probably went a little bit too light and go in and I do a little bit darker. So when I remove that and pop a few elements on my page, I realize it's still looking not like it's far enough back into the fireplace. Here I've got some paper that I thought that I might use behind, so I'm having a little bit of a look at that, and then swapping out this light grey scallop for the dark ones. Now these are the exclusive die cuts that are in the scrapbooking kit, and I originally thought I was going to use that paler wood in the scallop, but I end up using this darker one, and it's got a really fine pinstripe on it, and I actually like that I swapped that out. And I'm bringing in those elements, and I'm just making sure that everything's going to sit nicely where I would like it. Trying to decide if I'm going to have those little journaling spots or little bannery bits at the top. Now if you haven't already come to the same conclusion as me, what I'm looking at here is I'm imagining this is a fireplace with a mantelpiece and some photo frames sitting on top of that mantelpiece, hanging on the wall there or sitting there, and it's Christmas morning and somebody's woken up, they're having their Christmas coffee and checking out the stockings and what maybe Santa has left in them. So that's where my kind of inspiration or imagination came for this, and where I was thinking this layout was going. I'm going to move that tape now, and you can see there that I'm just bringing in that and making it a little bit darker, a little bit more grungy, and a little bit more like it's deep down into the back of that chimney. Let me know if I succeeded. I'd love your feedback. I'd love to know if you think that this works as a chimney, or I actually had to explain it, which would be terrible, but I'd like to know whether this works, or if it doesn't, if I failed, or if you think it was a success. I won't be offended if you say that I failed and until I told you what was going on, you didn't realize it was a chimney. I did laugh and tell one of my customers the other day that I completely thought that, you know, I was wanting to put little orange flames down the bottom so that there was a fire roasting there, but that might have been one step too far. So those lighter strips that I had put on, I decided I didn't really like, and that I just wanted this mink color in the background. So I'm trimming that, and I'm going to flip it over and put it back on so that the die cut area is not showing. And when I did that, there was a lot of stick and glue from that other piece, so I'm just putting, this is just a scrap piece of paper that I had laying around just to cover that where there was some sticky showing through. Just going to blend around the outside edges there as well, and then come back, and with the magic of YouTube, when we come back, there's all the photo mats and things have been attached, and I'm getting ready to do some final embellishments on here. Now I found this a little bit tricky. I've got so many embellishments in that little container. Some of them I've kind of got earmarked to do for future layouts that are brewing in the back of my mind. Some I just didn't think would go on these particular layout. So I've really tried quite a few different things, and unfortunately the a little bit where I found what I eventually put onto this layout, a little bit of video from that thing, I must have hit pause and not restarted the video, so we do skip a little bit there towards the end. But you can see I've got all those embellishments from both the embellishment kit for Christmas Story and the exclusive embellishments that come in the pack, all in that little tub, and I will just keep taking bits and moving them around and trying to find the best fit and the best look for this layout. There is so much to choose from though. I think sometimes we get the more we have, the harder it is to choose. So I really love that 25. It's so cute. I must find a layout to put it on. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end up on this one. So here I'm bringing in a few of the greenery, and I really like that touch of green on the mantle. I can imagine that somebody's hung up a little wreath or something along there, and I try lots of different combinations of this. There is both some green leaves and there's some wood grain leaves in there as well, and I do move and change and all that for quite a while until I settle on what is the final decorations. I really like this process, and this is one of my favorite things to do, these going through and moving things around until I'm happy, and that's part of the joy I get out of scrapbooking. Here is where I did lose that little bit of video, and we come back in. So you can see I found some holly leaves, cut up a few pieces of those green fernier more looking pieces, and I brought in some embellishments, and I was attaching those with some gold twine on either side. So that is where we kind of went to. I really like the holly there, the little splashes of red along the mantelpiece, and that little touch of gold shimmer that we get from the ornaments that are hanging either side. So that is it, guys. This is layout 2 for Christmas Story. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me, for watching the videos. If you've got this far, I really do appreciate it. I have a little slowdown here of some of the little details. One of the other things that I did do is I added those liquid pearls that surround the holly there, and that was the tiny little details that I added there that you can see the gold sparkle. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.